Welcome again, everybody, to another edition of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. Well, as promised, I made something Polish that you can use during the Lenten season because it's meatless, it's vegetarian. And you can even make it vegan if you want to just only use olive oil instead of any butter. You can do that. But this is at least vegetarian. And if you want to, in this dish, I've got the kopitka covered with a nice brown sauce with mushrooms on it. You can do fried onions and bacon if you don't want it meatless. And for the sauerkraut, you can add in kielbasa if you don't want it vegetarian. But as promised, here it is. And here are your ingredients. First, we'll cut our cabbage in half. Now we'll take the core from the core. We're just going to cut pieces like this. And the final core, easy way to get rid of the core. Now we're just going to cut our cabbage into 1/2-inch strips and place it in our bowl. Continue doing this until all your cabbage is cut. Using the larger holes, shred 1½ carrots. You should end up with about 1/2 cup of carrots. Place these carrots in a separate bowl. Now slice your onions just a little thinner or around 1/4 of an inch thick and place them in a bowl. And I've got about 1/4 of a red onion, so I'm going to add that in as well. I've washed and cleaned my mushrooms, and depending upon the size, you might cut them differently, but I'm going to make pieces. I'm just going to make a small. Using a paring knife, I'm going to peel the skin off of my apple. Now I've cut my apple into pieces, just leaving the core behind. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dice it into small pieces. These are going to pretty much melt within the cabbage. I'm going to now add these apple pieces to my cut cabbage. Now I've cut my garlic into big pieces, and I'm just going to set it aside because we're just going to infuse the flavor in the oil and the butter prior to putting in our cabbage. While we're waiting for our kopitka water to come to boil, we're going to start making our cabbage. We're going to add our 2 tablespoons of butter. Oh, I got a caraway seed in there. And about 6 tablespoons of olive oil to a heated pan. Now we're going to add in our onions, mushrooms, and carrots. And we're going to stir well. We're going to also add in our pieces of garlic. Now we're going to add in about 1/2 of our cabbage and apple. We'll now add in our seasoning and all of our red wine. Now we're going to continue to cook this down until the alcohol from the red wine is gone. When the cabbage is cooked down enough to add the rest of your cabbage, add in the rest of the cabbage. Cover it over medium heat until all the cabbage starts wilting. When the cabbage looks like this, it's done. And we're going to plate it on this, leaving back as much juice as we can. Using a slotted ladle, I'm placing all this on here, on this nice plate. And I'm going to strain this juice because I'm going to use this juice to make our sauce for our kopitka. So now it's time for plating. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this great cabbage. I'm going to put it right down the middle. Put a strip right down the middle. Then I'm going to take some of these kopitka. I'm going to put these along the side here. And I'm going to take some of this cucumber. I'm going to add some of this along the side here, have some of that tanginess to go with the savory from our cabbage and our kopitka. I'm going to spoon some of this great sauce that we made, this great butter sauce with mushrooms and shallots with the juices of this cabbage. I'm going to pour that over there. And then I've got to get my breadcrumbs. I've got to sprinkle some breadcrumbs over my kopitka and over my cabbage. And here you have it, some perfect vegetarian Lenten style Polish cabbage, fried cabbage with some kopitka and some sour cream cucumbers. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. I hope you come and see me again. Thanks again, everybody. Smacznego. Bye.